Hello there. Uh, Tonight I would like to continue the conversation of woke and what that possibly means for certain persons out there. Uh, I'm going to talk about, well, basically when a male individual tries to pursue a woman and is successful in gaining her attention and it's reciprocated. Um, that could be problematic for the friends that this woman already has. Um, you could be quite easily seen as tall, dark, and handsome, um, the Black Knight, the bad guy, and usually in the media, this will it'll shift towards it being an actual black man going with the white chick, and that will piss off the guy who is pursuing them, that woman, and it will also piss off her friends because essentially that's the whole point is that she'd be transitioning her life so that her friends that she already has have a lesser role in it, if one at all, depending on circumstances. Um, and it's a manipulative little trick. And as a person entering the dating world, especially if you've been absent, in my situation, practically my whole life, um, you don't want to go with chicks that act like that because it means they've got secrets. It means they've got connections to other past friendships and things like that. It means they're willing to do things because they believe that that is, from their perspective, the best option to do. Um, and essentially, they'll be taking the piss out of you. Uh, Perhaps if you're as handsome an individual as myself, they may introduce you to their female friends that they have some sort of power over. They'll never be as pretty as her. That's one thing. So, no. And that is the worst idea ever, is to let the woman, if she so chooses to do so, if she has a choice, be the one to pick out the chicks, like, in a sense, like pimping you out. You cannot let her do that. Um, it's, you don't control them and they shouldn't control you. Um, it is, you know, instinctually, it is a piss off when you're pursuing a woman and it's reciprocated and then they go and do a bitchy thing like that. It doesn't actually have to literally be a black male that they go with. It could be just someone you instinctually hate the second you see them. Like, I don't know, like Quagmire, for example. If all of a sudden she ditches her friends, pisses off her friends to go with a Quagmire type guy, and it's really her back door into settling down, perhaps, or whatever she has planned on doing, and she feels as though that in order to lessen the irritation from her friends, that she's also got to take the piss out of someone like me. Um, I am in a position where I will not tolerate that. Um, it is true. Like with most of the any female that is eligible, I would not like their friends, female or male. There's a lot of problematic underlying issues, and they all know each other quite well, and you weren't included in that circle, and you have a lot of things they'll just never tell you, and you may not even think to ask or know how to, and that's just a recipe for a bad relationship altogether. So you do have to play the court a little bit. See your options, look what's out there, and you don't even have to feel guilty about it. I mean, I'm not saying 7 days a week you're every day of the week you're going with a different chick. Uh, and remember, this is if you're not fuck ugly, and this is if you actually are someone noteworthy of scoring chicks, but can't for some unforeseen reason. Um, then you know you have to really, really pay attention to the details. Um, because otherwise, you're going to be treated like a chump, and if you act like a chump, you will be treated like one. And, after all the medical experimentations on me, trying to get me to desist with my alcohol drinking consumption, and the amount of, outright pain that I've had to go through, not gonna cry a river over it, but yeah, it's been unpleasant. I'll say that. And yeah, I'm just not in the mood for going out into the dating world, and this is the kind of modern day bullshit that they want me to go through. It's like, no, I already went through the prickly bush. I'm not going through another one. Um, yeah, and I mean the tides will turn eventually, and you know, like I could honestly say I would try to be friends with the friends of a chick I was pursuing, if there were any around, which there are, but I don't ever see them. But that's not the point. Um, However, no promises. I can't guarantee you I'll get along with them. And in the event that it literally is a black guy that they go with, or like like a Quagmire type, or just something that is different from yourself, that makes it even a little bit worse. I mean, if they're so much like you, that's still a piss off, but it's more of a piss off if they're not like you at all. Especially if they have advantages and they use that to try to humiliate you. That is most certainly a piss off. And you don't have to put up with it. Know your worth. Um, yeah. Um, it is a likely outcome is that I will have to see for myself what I don't want to see, because who knows how promiscuous some of the chicks that are gravitating around my social media, what type of people they are, where they've been, what they've done, and that might all been stuff they've already done before, so it's nothing new to them, and therefore they don't have a problem with doing that, even though I think it's highly insensitive to do something like that against me. But they may not even have a choice. You know, the circles they run in, they may make the decision that that's the way it's going to be. Um, and that would be them outsmarting myself. And if they're gonna play, C grade psychology on me, it is not going to work. They have to do their best, because if they're not doing their best, they're not gonna trick me. And I mean, I can't turn around and turn down every woman that tries to communicate with me in sort of a romantic type of way, but I can be more selective and just not go along with the first thing that comes around, which is what a lot of pathetic involuntary celibates do once they essentially leave what world they knew and enter the real world. Um, because that is truly, truly pathetic. And, the maybe the reward of, well, if they humiliate you a little bit first, then you'll get more later, in, the friends they have and all that sort of stuff. Just pass on that being humiliated part. I don't need to be reminded of it. You're not an involuntary celibate most of your life and go, damn, I feel like I missed a few parties. You can't help but feel that, but it's not like I didn't have a life when I was more of in a reclusive type of environment. Um, Quite happy. I learned a lot. I did a lot of my own studying and research, and there are many things I know that I would not have known if I had been out in the real world, because other people, they rub off on people. So if they have an intolerance or a way of thinking that is a dominant trait in them, you perhaps by being around them may never have learned um, the stuff that you know. You might not be the person that you are right now. And, you know, sex is a manipulative tool. And you can't go into it being the simp, um, being the cuckold, being any of those things, submissive. Um, can't ask them to do that either because that's not fair. But at the same time, it's free country. Last I checked, relatively free anyway. Um, so yeah, obviously it's a case by case manner, but yeah, rest assured I'll be having to think of a lot of complicated things that I don't really understand yet. Um, but she's got to be pretty. That's for one thing, and that goes for personality and physical attractiveness, and one that's not particularly all used up. Yeah, not a big fan of that either. I don't want to go. Things have been here before me. A lot of things. um, I don't want to be in that position. It's awkward. So uh, being a jerk about it is. What else can you do? Um, yeah. So anyway, leave it at that. Give you something to think about, and I'll talk to you people later. Have a good one.